Welcome to the Rangers Rabble St Mirren preview. My name's Derek McMillan. I'm joined today by Brian. How you doing, mate?
Fine, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Scott, how you? How's things?
Not bad. Still working here, so I'm not finishing at 4, so I'm in my bike now, Derek. So hurry
Well,
up.
I'm not going to disclose what time is. We're recording it because I am still on the clock as well. So we'll move on. Cammy, my man, how are you?
Aye, all good. Excited for the big man coming tonight.
Aye, mate. Looking forward. I'm looking forward to it to being done and dusted. I think for every parent, it's stressful couple of weeks in it. So looking forward to sitting down at 3:00 tomorrow with my dinner and it's all done. But anyway, we'll crack on back with the football. So Cammy, I'll come to you first, mate. Obviously, we're playing St Mirren on Boxing Day on Sunday. Big traditional game. First of all, how disappointed are you that we're not there in person?
Aye, it's just without going into it in too much detail, it's a huge frustration. A lot of people will be taking families will be going, kids will maybe be going for their first game at Ibrox as a Christmas present. You know, boys that are wanting to make it a day out. There's just everybody's affected by it. So, and it's 500 fans. It's just a figure that's been plucked out of the air. It's a real shame, but we just have to get on with it and get the 3 points.
Brian, you the same mind? I mean, I know personally it's usually our big day out with all the boys because, you know, we Christmas Day you spend with the family and then you ignore the existing Boxing Day. That's just me, but it's disappointing that we're not there, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. As you say, it's just a total day out with the guys, and after the Christmas Day celebrations, you look forward to the Boxing Day fixture, but unfortunately this year things have transpired against us, and we're going to have to suffer just watching it on the RTV.
Kerr, at least we'll have some decent RTV coverage, which is good. Which was it's the least the club could have done, but at least it was out and it was quick. You disappointed you're not at Ibrox on Sunday?
Yeah, because it's always a good one against St Mirren because I'm for Paisley, so it's like I know a lot of boys are St Mirren, fans and stuff like that. So there's always a wee bit of banter between us, but it's sad not to be there. But I'm just hoping St Mirren players are still maybe fill up for the selection box this time we play them.
Aye, it's strange. I don't know many St Mirren fans for Paisley. Most of them come from Bridge of Weir Houston because they're too posh to support Rangers or Celtic. But that's just my experience. I don't want to, as I said before we started, I don't want to labour the point about missing the game on Sunday. I don't want to put us in a bad mood for Christmas Day. So we'll move on from that and we'll get back to the football, Cammy. Now, obviously, we did. Last week was a good result. I don't care how the results come at this time of year. This is the first time I've been on since the game last Saturday. We'll take 1-0 from now to the end of the season, of course. But Cammy, is it important that we don't have a repeat of Sunday and we really kick on and try and get some early goals?
Well, I think the manager's obviously just done his presser, and it was interesting. He spoke about having time on the training pitch, and I think I spoke about that earlier in the week on the pod, and I think you would expect some sort of energy, some sort of zip. It's been a very busy schedule, constant midweek Saturday, so they've had a week to recharge the batteries. So I'm expecting a performance with a bit of tempo, which I think is always the key. I think a St Mirren team where they've put in a heroic performance on Wednesday night. Particularly the younger players, if they're going to be asked to play again, they might be a bit leggy, because I think some players haven't played for a long time. So I think we can take advantage of that, having had the week of rest, recovery and additional preparation on the training pitch.
So, Kerr, how important is that the rest that we've not really had for months?
Yeah.
How key is that? Do you see an invigorated Rangers on Sunday?
Hopefully, because it's given Gio a few days with the players, because I don't think he's really had that since he's come in, because it's just been game after game without really any preparation or training because of European fixtures and the SPL and even a cup game. So I think he's had a week away. He's looked at his squad, hopefully can get the players back, like Cammy say, with high tempo. But we can't take this game for granted because I know a lot of Rangers fans do take games like this for granted. I don't, because Rangers need to turn up. Doesn't matter who we play. If we turn up, we win. If we don't turn up, it will be a difficult afternoon. So hopefully we can turn up, get a few early goals, and we can enjoy Boxing Day.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Brian, are you the same mind? I mean, time in the training pitch is golden. There's no doubt about that. Are you looking forward to seeing what what we've been working on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be. As Scott was just saying there, I think we've got to be very mindful of what happened midweek with St Mirren. They've obviously got a tremendous result for their club, but I think we've got to be wary of them in the sense that, you know, we know they're going to sit in, we know they're going to stack men behind the ball, and of course against Dundee United we struggled against that. So hopefully the team selection will be important, and as Scott said, we come out all firing and guns blazing from the start.
Yeah, like the Cammy, is that key? Obviously St Mirren are coming off I had wrote down on my notes, make dig at Celtic result, so we'll do that now. So obviously St Mirren are coming off the back of a heroic result when their manager wanted to forfeit, which probably says more about him than the actual club St Mirren, to be honest. But how important is it that they must be buoyed and they must be up for it, so how important is it to take the hope away from them on Sunday in the first 10 minutes?
100%. You know, we always talk about positive tempo for the start. Try and put the game to bed as early as possible, you know. But it's about it's cliched, but it's about how we approach the game. We have to obviously react to the situation that there's no 50,000 fans and a buoyant atmosphere and stuff. So they have to switch their head to have to deal with that. I think both sides will obviously be affected by it, but I mean, we've coped with it in the past, and I think the team selection will be interesting. I think I would like to go with pace, you know, but that's probably we'll come on to that. But I think just try and run them, try and get the energy and get them moving about. And, you know, I think if we start with a tempo and score in the first 15, 20 minutes, I think it's a far easier afternoon.
So Brian, do you think St Mirren have emptied the tank on Wednesday?
It could go either. It's going to go one way or the other. They've either emptied the tank and they'll be knackered, or they'll just carry on and just be buoyed as they were. I think the first instance will happen. I think they'll be gone by about an hour. You know, they're all young boys playing on Wednesday night. So I mean, I don't know who's going to be able to come back for them with this COVID, but I would say, if I'm being honest, I think the tank will be emptied with them. I really do.
So Kerry, are we overthinking the St Mirren team? For me, if they've got the strongest 11 on the park, we should still be having the same conversations, you know.
Yeah.
If we start well, are we overthinking their performance and how well these young guys have done? Doesn't matter who's on the pitch for St Mirren, really, does it?
It doesn't. I think when you've got young guys in the team, it's hard to judge because you know yourself, for young guys, they've not really got a lot of fear. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to enjoy it because they're not expected to play like Dundee United done the other week. So I think it's difficult to judge some players on that. If someone bring back a full team, I'm more hopeful. But the young players in it, you can never tell. But as long as Charles Dunn's playing at centre of the back three, I'll be happy because that boy's got a mistake in him every game.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's key that we always say this and it's boring. Like maybe not boring, but it's monotonous. On every Friday we say, you know, it's all about Rangers and blah blah blah. But you know, there's no point lying. Don't give a two hoots if it's Celtic we're playing on Sunday or St Johnstone, you know, or St Mirren. We top of the league, second bottom of the league, bottom of the league. We turn up, we win, in my opinion. McCammy, you mentioned pace. We'll come on to team selection shortly, but are you really impressed with Van Bronckhorst, how he's kind of put that back into our game? For me, with Gerrard, we were a bit slow at times, you know, and I think that's probably by design. Are you impressed with the pace that, you know, Van Bronckhorst has brought into our attacks?
I mean, I think he's got a very clear ethos how he wants his teams to set up. I think everything's been hugely positive, and I think this is the last fixture before obviously a 3-week break or whatever it is. You know, it's just important that we continue with that, and if we can do that by bagging a couple of goals as well, supplement the goal difference, great. 3 points is the most important thing, but a performance, and I think even if you can get subs on early sort of situation, you know, I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, players are going away to African nations. You know, in the latter stages of the game, after the game's done and dusted, do you start planning for that? You know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself sort of situation, you know, but we're going to have to do without Aribo, we're going to have to do without Balogun and Bassey, you would assume. options are limited in those areas of the park. You know, in an ideal situation, you're 2-3-0 up at half time. You can take Aribo and Bassey off. You maybe put Tavs to centre half alongside Golson, like happened last week, because you're going to be dominating the game, and stick Nathan on it right back, you know. But I'm already 2 or 3-0 up, and Joe Aribo smoking a cigar sort of thing, you know. But I think I always talk about tempo and moving the ball, not taking 3, 4, 5 touches, but it's 2 touch, take a touch, move it, take a touch, move it. And I think if we do that, we shouldn't have any problems against any team. A full strength St Mirren team, St Mirren under 15s, it really doesn't matter. We go, we win the game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you can tell I'm hosting the day. Wait to hear this for a transitional question, Brian. Now, I talked about St Mirren emptying the tank on Wednesday. We've got a 3-week break coming up, at least. Do we empty the tank on Sunday and take it out on St Mirren?
I hope so. I'll be very surprised if we start with the same team as we started with Dundee United, because it clearly didn't work in the middle of the park with Kamara and Lundstrom. They were just both getting in each other's way, and we just need the one holding midfielder and just let the rest up front do the work. Get the 4 attacking midfielders, wingers, and the striker, and just because it's clearly looks our best option at home. As I say, it just didn't look right with Lundstrom and Kamara, either one or the other. So. Yeah, I'm just, as Cammy says, just go at them from the start and just try and get the business done in early doors.
Yeah, good point by Brian there in terms of, you know, we did look a bit off it on Saturday at times. You know, it's hard to be critical because we've been absolutely fantastic since the manager came in, so I'm not being overly critical here. But do you see a big part of it for me is he's letting defenders defend and attackers attack? You know, old school, you know, almost like simple football. So do you feel the same? Do you think maybe Arfield would be a better option? We'll come to team selection more in depth shortly, but do you feel Arfield would be a better option than Lundstrom on Sunday against St Mirren?
I think Scotty maybe needs a rest, to be honest with you, but maybe he's put one more game after him. I thought he looked quite leggy against United. I thought Lundstrom didn't really take his chance. I think Kamara's better next to Arfield and Aribo. I don't know what's happening with Stephen Davis. I don't know if he's out injured or if he's just rested or anything else. But I think we need to just go one sitting against St Mirren. We can't go with 2 sitting. We should be out going out to plan to win in the game, and then you can change it like Cammy says. But I don't want to go ahead of myself because it always backfires. So I'll just be happy if we go out and attack the way we can attack, play with pace, play with directness, and just play with a high tempo. Because I think if we've done that, we can score very quickly. Because the longer the game went on, 0-0, that's when the fans, well, not going to be any fans there, but that's when you start to panic watching it, and that's when the team can start making mistakes because they get over eager trying to get something. So I think we should just go with one sitting midfielder. Yeah,
probably agree. Now we'll come on to team selection, but we just want to talk about St Mirren's season overall. So they're 9th in the table. Cammy, that's a St Mirren season, isn't it? They are where they should be, in my opinion. You agree?
They're just St Boo, as you call them, when you obviously you go there. I've never known a set of supporters that boo as much. They're unlikely that they go down, but they're not good enough for top 6. That's really, you know, I'm not saying they're a nothing club, but that's essentially where they're at without investment and additional budget. I don't think there's much more that they can actually achieve if they survive again. I think Tony Fitzpatrick, I think's their sort of boss. He probably has expectations of delusions of top 6. I think they're a good bit away from that. So they are where they are, and I don't see them changing for there, to be honest.
Brian, I'm going to put you on the spot. Any players that we should be worried about for Sunday?
Not particularly. I don't really follow St Mirren very much.
You can say none, it's fine.
I don't really follow St Mirren much, so I don't really care to comment. But no, I wouldn't really be too worried about much, to be honest. I really wouldn't.
Great. What a sidestep. Hey, I'm only a politician, mate, and I would not have done that any better. Well done, mate. Very, very proud.
Is Mark Yardley still playing up front for them, man?
He's like, hey, Barry Lavetti, better watch him.
2 seconds.
That's harsh. I don't slag him too much. My father's a St Mirren fan, so
Well, I was going to say, Kerr, you've maybe got a bit more knowledge, so we'll
my
bring that
my
question.
dad's a St Mirren fan, my mum's a Rangers fan. So I
So we'll
went
bring
to
that
both.
question to you then. Is there any players we should be worried about?
Depends who's playing, Derek. I mean, I like the boy Dylan Reid, my dad part. I know he's only young, but I think he's a really outstanding prospect. If Conor McArthur's fit at the back, makes a difference for them, but I think he's out. Jamie McGrath, we all know, is a good player. Ryan Flynn's not getting on in age, but he still can pick a pass and stuff like that. And obviously they've got the young boy for Wolves on loan again. I can't remember Connor something or Conan. And obviously Eamon Brophy can cause problems as well with directness. Should take more chances than he does, but I disagree with Cammy. I think if St Mirren's got a fairly fit squad and the players they've got, they should be challenging for top six because they've got a lot of decent players and a lot of young players in that squad. So I think finishing ninth is underachieving.
Posty, sorry.
No, I think I'm with Cammy in this one. I don't know if it's just because, I'm 5 minutes down the road, I don't like them very much, but I just think that they're a couple of players short of that. I think they've got some good players, but for me to finish top six, you're talking about trying to fight with Motherwell and the likes, and I just think Motherwell can maybe get a wee bit more quality than what St Mirren have. But anyway, it is what it is. Now we'll get back to what we're more comfortable with, and I'll come to you, Brian, first and foremost. Let you redeem yourself. Now, the team on Sunday, we'll go through it in terms of personnel. So, first and foremost, we'll start number 1. McGregor keeps his place.
Yeah,
you have the same mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And the back four, Brian, because McGregor was a gimme. Well, maybe the back four is as well. We'll find out in a second. Are you keeping your usual back four? Or are you making any changes in that?
No, I would like to keep the same back four. I'm very much the type that keeps the back five as stable as possible throughout every game, barring suspensions and injuries or niggles. But no, I like to keep the back four as stable as possible.
So we're talking Tav, we're talking Goldson and Bassey.
Yeah.
Back in at left centre back with Barisic.
Hopefully,
fingers crossed everyone's fit. Kerry, if everyone's fit and available, is that your back five?
It is, yeah, but if obviously Borner's not, then you bring in Nathan at left back.
How do you think that went, Kerry, on Sunday? Well, you brought that up. I was kind of going to bring that up in a bit.
I think it's done actually okay, and I think it's good enough player to play there. I mean, when you're young, you probably know that more than me, Derek, but when you're young, players can get coached to play different positions just in case they have to fill in. So I remember my son Jack being at Queen's Park, and he's predominantly left-footed, Jack, but when he was up there, they played him right back a lot of games, the right side, just so he could if he was getting caught on his right side, he'd have to use his right foot. So it's just topping other things, and eventually he did use both feet. So I think Nathan can slot in. There's been a lot of left backs in the years that have been right footed, and a lot of right backs have been left footed. So I think Nathan's good enough to slot in there and give the same type of performance as he does on the left side. Or the right side.
I totally agree with that. Good players should be able to play anywhere, right? It's not going to be natural to them, but he should be able to go and do a job, and it's part of his development, 100%. There's no way he's never played left back in the youth teams. There must be a time where it's had to happen, even in training. You know what I mean? And one of my coaches said to me when I was younger, I don't know if he was either telling me I was crap or telling me I was good. It was that much of one of these woolly comments. He says that I was that good a sub that I was the best sub that he could ever ask for because I could go on and play anywhere. I don't know if he was telling me I was crap and that's why I was a sub. He was just making this. But I see that a bit about Patterson. I think he can go on right back, he can go on left back, he can go on right at the front kind of three, if you like, and he can also play left. And Cammy, do you think that's, we've seen on Saturday, just another tick box of Patterson's development, maybe?
If I recall correctly, I don't know if it was before the game last week, I'm sure he spoke about it. I think he said that through the youths he's played in midfield, and I think we knew that ourselves when the whole conversation about him and Tav, who could play one-on sort of thing, and I think Nathan's the one that could play in like almost the Scott Arfield position. I think Nathan could play there because he's got that he's got the legs to get about the pitch. It's not comfortable for him, but I think if he has to play there, he'll play there without any problem. Hopefully Borner's available. The manager didn't give us any clues at his press conference, but that's fairly normal. It's fairly standard. They don't want to give any help to St Mirren, but Nathan's a player that we hope that we've got for a long time, and I think if he has to play left back, he'll do it without any difficulty at all.
Yeah,
I mean, there's one thing for sure that they won't. after Saturday, we had Patterson right back and Tavernier centre half, and that clearly didn't please Van Bronckhorst, so that was changed within 5 minutes. So there's nothing sure that won't happen.
That is definitely not happening again. I've never seen such a quick tactical shift. But see, to be fair, I quite liked it because he tried it. It didn't work. He wasn't stubborn. He maybe looked a bit silly for 30 seconds because folk are like, he's made an arse of that, let's be honest, but he doesn't care. You know, he wants to change the team for the benefit of Rangers, and I like that. It made him look strong for me instead of maybe weak, because people are like, what's the point? And that's embarrassing. Why has he tried that? Well, he did try it, it didn't work, he changed it and we won the game. So for me, it was another test pass for Van Bronckhorst as manager of Rangers for me. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but I thought it looked great. Cammy, I'll come back to you. Middle three, this is probably where the decisions come, because the back five hopefully will be pretty settled. Middle three, if you like, who are you playing in midfield on Sunday against St Mirren?
I feel Kamara, Rabble. I know what Kerr's saying. Scotty's played a lot of games in recent weeks, but he's had a week off, you know. So I think that's your middle three. One sitter, they two more advanced sort of number eights, and that's your three for me. I don't think there's any need. Stephen Davis, I've heard it's other issues. That's the reason he's unavailable. I don't think there's an injury there. So he'll obviously, once he's done his time, he should probably come back into the picture after the break. But it's probably that'll help Stephen Davis for the second half of the season. You know, because he's been managed quite well, I would say, over the last sort of 6 weeks. But if we can get a fit and firing and fully up to it, Stephen Davis in the second half of the season, he'll get more than enough minutes. There's no any doubt about that, because he's still a top class player. Yeah,
totally agree. You know, when Davis plays, plays well, we play well. In my opinion, I don't think that's changed much. He's been a bit off form for whatever reason, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm sure he'll come back, and he'll come back stronger in the new year. Fingers crossed. Kerr, are you the same mind, mate? Are you playing that three?
Yeah, I would go with that three. I would just mention about Arfield just because I thought it was quite a leg against United, but I gave it Cammy saying he needed a week off. So we start with Scotty, because Scotty's more of a threat coming for deep. So I would start with A2 and Kamara sitting.
Brian, do you think that's the midfield balance we need on Sunday that we didn't really have last week?
Yeah, I think it is, because you'll obviously have Kamara mopping up anything that comes forward from St Mirren, and then you'll have the energy of Arfield, and then you'll have the creativity of Aribo. So it's a nice mix of the three. So hopefully he'll stick with that three that's Cammy suggested.
Yeah, I agree. Now the front three, Cammy, you mentioned right at the beginning of the pod that you want to go for pace. How's that reflected in your team selection?
Hadji doesn't start on the right hand side, so it's nothing against Giannis. It's just that's not his position. I don't think he's played at all in any of the games. I don't think he's showed up at all. I think he's having a poor run of form. So for me, Scott Wright or Fashion, I think that's what I would be going for. Fashion didn't get any minutes last week. Scott Wright came on, and as much as I still think there's limitations in his game, I still think there's a lot that he still has to learn. I would be starting with, I know I'm sitting on the fence here a wee bit, but either Fashion or Scott Wright with Morelos and Ryan Kent. That would be my front three.
Okay, Kerbal, don't have any splinters on your backside like Cammy does. Who's your front three on Sunday?
I would go with obviously Kent Morelos, because Alfie's been scoring the goals of late, so I'll go with they two. And I would actually start Scott Wright. I think the boy deserves a chance. He came on, he came on, made a good impact last week, and I know he's not played a lot of games, but I think he's a decent player, so I think you start with him. I know Fashion been unlucky as well, but just because he came on and made a difference last week, I think you should give the boy a chance. I think he's he can create more than Fashion. Fashion's more direct into the ball over the top and likes to run on it, but I think Scott Wright's got a bit more tricky in his game.
Yeah, I totally agree. Brian, how about you? What's your front three for Sunday?
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing with Scott there. I think this could be an ideal game for Scott Wright to, start against St Mirren, a weakened sort of St Mirren team. get his confidence up, get him flying at the fullbacks. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it'll be Kent Morelos. I would like Kent Morelos and Wright to start. As I say, I think it could be the perfect game for Scott Wright to kickstart his career.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think pace wins the game on Sunday, and Scott Wright certainly got that. And, you know, I usually say this to my boys all the time: if you can't do it against St Mirren at home, then you're probably not for Rangers. So maybe a bit harsh, but that's the reality of it, because you've got Roof coming back, you've got Sakala waiting in the wings. He quite likes Hadji out there. Aribo can play out there. We probably should be recruiting a right winger in January, in my opinion. So it's either put up or, you know, not move out for Scott Wright. That's harsh, but, you know, he needs to do it on Sunday for me to be trusted by the new management. Now, Cammy, we'll wrap this up and let everyone enjoy their Christmas Eve. Let Kerr get back to his work, you know. What's your prediction for Sunday's game against St Mirren, and who's your first goal scorer?
Alfredo Morelos, first goal scorer, Rangers to win 2-0. Sakala gets the second one off the bench, because I think he probably will go away. Scott Wright is the wide right player.
And we'll take that all day. And Kerr, how about you, mate? What's your score on Sunday, and what's your first goal scorer?
2-0 to Rangers, and I'm going to say the first goal scorer, I want to go Aribo.
Okay. Fine, we'll also take that. Brian, how about you, mate?
I normally go Aribo first goal scorer, but I think it'll be Kent first scorer, and they'll go 3-0.
Okay, good. Keeping the zero then. Brilliant, love
Keeping
that.
the zero.
Zero's been good recently.
As much as Martin likes it.
Martin loves that one.
I don't want to start talking about it before the pod ends. I don't want to set you off. But anyway, thanks very much for giving up your time on Christmas Eve, guys. It's really much appreciated. I've managed to keep my kids quiet for 26 minutes, which has been a really fun itself.
Take that masking tape off from Derek.
That's a Christmas. I need to go and let them down for the close poles that I've tied them to. But anyway, I'd like to wish all our listeners on Rangers Rabble a Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone has a lovely time as they can. Stay safe, and hopefully on Sunday we are still 6 points ahead, at least at the top of the table going into the Christmas break. Cheers for listening. Thanks.